Hi guys! I know you can't meet this week for Girl Scouts, so I thought that we would do a little video and get in some of our outdoor challenges. So we're going to talk about trees, especially trees that are around us and where we're from here in Pennsylvania. And we'll just go over a little bit of them and then they'll have a fun activity. All right, let's go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is where we live. We live in Pennsylvania. Did you know that Pennsylvania actually means Penn's Woods? What do you think that means? It means that there are a lot of trees where we are. Actually, there are over 134 trees that are around here. And then there are also 62 other trees that were introduced. What that means is that they're trees that people might plant in their yards to make it look pretty, or things that might smell nice. So that's a whole lot of trees. So next we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of trees that are native to Pennsylvania. What that means is they're trees that if you walk outside or go for a walk in the woods, you're going to be able to find them. So I want you to pay attention to the color of their bark. And their bark is what is on the outside. So it's kind of like how our skin is, but it's the skin on the trees. So I want you to pay attention to what that looks like. Maybe it's a different color. And then also pay attention to the leaves, because the leaves always have different shapes. That way you can tell what they are. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about are birch trees. You see how when you're looking at them, they're really tall and their skin or the wood on the outside of the tree is white with black. They kind of look like zebras, don't they? I always thought that they were really interesting because if you walk up to these trees, it's almost like they're peeling off pieces of paper. Do you have any of those trees in your house? Or around your house, rather. I doubt you're growing them in your house. Another interesting thing about birch trees is that they don't live very long because insects, bugs, like to make homes in them, and it actually hurts the trees, so they don't live too long. If you look at the leaves of the birch tree, which are in this slide here, you can see that they're kind of round or even maybe in a little bit of a heart shape, and they're kind of shiny and they're pretty long. Each stem has quite a few leaves on it, and if you look really close at the leaves, you'll see that they have little ridges. It's almost like they have teeth. Isn't that cool? The next tree that we're going to talk about are called dogwood. And it's not because they look like dogs. What do you think? Do they look like dogs? Nope. But they are really beautiful. They come in all kinds of colors. You can see them in pink, white, and I've even seen some in purple. Not only are they really pretty and you can tell what they are from the flowers that they grow, but in the fall, their leaves turn a really bright red color and they smell really good, the flowers. Have you ever seen trees like these in your yards or out in your neighborhoods? They're really popular around this time of year, or when the high school kids go to prom. People like to take pictures in front of them because they make such pretty backgrounds. Next, we're going to talk about hemlocks. Do they look familiar? They live all over Pennsylvania, and they're actually what we call our state tree. It takes these trees 250 to 300 years old for them to grow up, and then they can live for 800 years. Think about that. That is a lot of time. If we planted one, we would never get to see it grow up the entire way. That's really old. They're also really known well for pine cones. You see these pictures? How long the pine cones are? And what else do we know about hemlock trees? When we talk about trees, we've been learning about the kind that stay green all year long, and the kind that lose their leaves. What do you think hemlock trees are? You're right, they're evergreen trees. They stay green all year long. So when you look out right now into the forests out in the distance, I bet that you could see a lot of hemlock trees. Next, we're going to talk about white oak trees. They are really pretty, and remember when we took our walk the other day? And Hannah, you remember you wanted to climb that tree? That was a white oak tree. White oak trees, kind of like hemlocks, can live a long time. They can live up to 400 years. And they're really important for the animals in the environment because they grow acorns. And lots of animals use acorns in the winter. So if you see chipmunks running around or squirrels, chances are they are carrying acorns in their mouths so that they can put away and store for the winter. Also really cool is that they're used to make floors. White oak trees are what people use a lot of times on their floors. They're really pretty, but look at their cool leaves. They're not exactly like all the other ones. It actually looks like someone is drawing loops. And you can also see in this picture that they have acorns and that they are what type of a tree? That's right, they are a deciduous tree. That means that every year in the fall, they turn pretty colors, reds and yellows and oranges, and then before winter, all the leaves fall off, and then all you see are brown trees. Now you learned about 4 different types of trees: the dogwood, the hemlock, the white oak, and the birch tree. Those are just 4 out of a lot of trees that we find here in Pennsylvania. So what do you think? Do you think we could take a short quiz about them? It'll be fun, I promise. Here we go. All right, what type of tree is this? You could probably tell by the type of characteristics. And what are characteristics? They're things that we can see about the tree. This tree has white bark with black. It looks like they peel really easy. Do you remember what type of tree that was? You are right, it's a birch tree. Did you know that they also make birch beer from birch trees? I'm not talking about beer that old people drink. Nope, it's a type of soda, and it's made from birch trees. How about this one? It has those really cool leaves that we were talking about. They turn bright red or yellow, and they're deciduous trees. What do you think? I know, it's a white oak. How about this one? It has pine cones and needles. It stays green all the time. What is that again? You're right, an evergreen tree. You're right, they are hemlocks. Next up is that really pretty tree, the one with all the flowers. Can you remember what this one was called? You're right, it's a dogwood. What a funny name for a tree that looks so pretty. That's so cool. We learned about 4 trees in just a couple minutes. Which one was your favorite, or do you have a different tree that's your favorite? Mine is right here. It's the one underneath with the pretty red leaves. It's called a Japanese maple. They turn really bright red or a really dark burgundy red. They're beautiful. But what other type of trees do we like? I know, Christmas trees. Do you put Christmas trees in your house? I know I do. But there are all kinds of trees. There's lilac trees. There are other pine trees. But they're all either deciduous or evergreen. Tell me what type is your favorite. All right, everyone, we're done with our video. But now I need you to do a little activity. Have your mom or dad or aunt or grandpa, somebody, get you out a piece of paper. And I want you to draw a picture of trees. The type of tree that is your favorite. You can draw a tree and how you use it. Anything you want as long as it has trees. And when you're done, you can have somebody put that picture up. That way when we come back to Girl Scouts, you can share it with everybody else. All right? Thank you guys. I can't wait to see you again. Have fun making pictures. And remember, trees are our friends.